Now, violence that broke out in Haryana's New during a religious procession by a certain group has a massive impact on social media. A detailed analysis by a government agency has revealed this. Now, the top official, quoting the report, which was compiled during the initial 72 hours after the violence took place, told News18 that after it spread to Mewat, Bhajpur and Gurugram, several hashtags, hashtag new violence, hashtag Mewat terror attack, hashtag Haryana violence started trending on Twitter with the potential reach of more than 3 billion, which is 300 crore, in the cyberspace, with negative sentiments totaling over 67%. That is the breaking input that we're receiving in connection with the new violence. Now remember, just a few days ago, CNN News 18 had learned that the center had already begun their crackdown on social media handles, over 300, which were operating on Twitter and Facebook to essentially incite violence. And of course, that is reportedly being cited as one of the main reasons behind the new violence. But this breaking input is more about the fact that certain hashtags, this is more information related to the social media impact and everything that's been trending with regards to new violence. Now, the specific hashtags that had reportedly been trending were hashtag new violence, hashtag Mewat terror attack, and hashtag Haryana violence. Those had started trending on Twitter, and again, that has the potential to reach more than 3 billion. So the impact, the possibility of violence increases with that kind of outreach. Now, this was all in the cyberspace, and negative sentiments, when these tweets were analyzed, the negative sentiment totaled over 67%. We're crossing over CNN News 18's Ankur for more on this. Ankur, over to you.
Yeah, so basically, this report has been compiled by a government agency responsible for analyzing the cyberspace. So the official quoting the report told us that almost 72 hours of initial days when the violence took place in Nu. So several hashtags were spreading various contents, which include Nu violence, Mewat terror attack, and Haryana violence. They started getting trending on Twitter, and they had a potential reach of more than 300 crores in the cyberspace. So you can understand the gravity of these hashtags. And the report also said that the age group which were mostly active with these hashtags were at the age of 25 to 34. And some anti-national elements were found to be instigating public through audio and video messages on Twitter and other social media platforms, which is also the part of this report. The report also analyzed that various tweets which had a massive impact on social media that were also analyzed, and it was found that the top 10 tweets were from India, but the top number one tweet which had the highest engagement in initial 72 hours was from Canada, not from India. So other countries which had see the high volume of tweets related to the new violence were US, UK, Canada, and Pakistan. Though the India share close to 86% of these hashtag impact and the origin, but the other countries shared the content ranging from 8% to 0.3%. It means the minimum was 14 crores. If we calculate 300 crores and to 1%, even the 1% of 300 crores is approximately 3 crores. So you can understand the gravity of the new violence on social media. It had a massive impact on social media cyberspace. Back to you.
Absolutely. Ankur, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those details. Now, when it comes to the new violence, let's take a look at what exactly that government probe report had stated. Now, when it comes to the new violence that had essentially erupted last week on Monday, this is what the government probe has revealed, that the probe claims that there was an orchestrated plot on social media, and that was what this latest breaking input was about as well. The fact that over 300 crore people were reached with, essentially the potential to reach 300 crore people with those hashtags. That was one of the strategies that was being used. Now, the probe also alleges that hashtags were created to spark unrest, and we just went through those with you, hashtag Haryana violence, hashtag new violence, and more. Beyond this, the probe also, and we'll take a look at the next point when it comes to what the government probe had revealed, some of the hashtags, as we just mentioned, were hashtag new violence and hashtag Mewat terror attack. These are the hashtags which were used, and they had a potential reach of posts more than 3 billion, which again translates to over 300 crore. Beyond this, when it comes to what the government probe had revealed, the negative sentiments were more than 67%. That is, again, the majority. Now, the 25 to 34 age group, those were the people that were reached. Those were the most active users when it comes to social media. And most feeds had originated from India as well. Now, all of this is in connection with the new violence and the online plot. Now, India had shared nearly 86% of these hashtags as well. This is the social media plot, and a top 10 tweets were from Canada. That is, again, foreign interference there. Now, the government has asked social media sites to block handles. Again, as we mentioned, these are specifically about Facebook and Twitter. And then beyond this, when it comes to what the government probe had revealed, the government had asked social media sites to block the handles.